Because if we are aiming for a lot of target, I'm afraid we might miss a lot. Thank you.
Well, forgive me, I'm aware that Daw Aung San Suu Kyi spoke to the United Nations in New York. I think she is the best judge. Let me put it like this, I will try to respond. I think she is the best judge in your country of your priorities. I genuinely believe that. Nobody's perfect, but she is the most impressive statesperson that I've had the pleasure and privilege of meeting in my 20 years involvement in politics at national level. And I wouldn't argue the toss with Daw Suu about the order of priorities. So I'm not going to get into a competition with somebody I regard as far senior and far superior. And what I would say is, I think I did list what seemed to me to be obvious priorities. You can put them in whatever order you like, but I think that achieving a durable peace is absolutely fundamental. Advancing the economy so that you've got decent living standards and an infrastructure of public services and support for those who need it is vital, and ending racial and religious injustice is critical. If I may, and I will ask our ambassador to come in because he's very deeply steeped in your affairs and very knowledgeable about them and supportive. I just want to make one other point. I'm not a peace negotiator, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an arbitrator. The only peace I try to uphold or recover or negotiate is peace in the British Parliament when people are shouting their heads off at each other. It's not always easy when people are screaming their heads off. But all I would say is that as far as the question is concerned, it is possible, ladies and gentlemen, for a government to do more than one thing at once. Now, I know you can't do everything at once and you can't achieve everything in one go, but governments do pursue priorities in parallel. So I don't think it's right to say, it's this first and that second and that third. There are very important things that need to be done in tandem. Not necessarily by the same people, but at the same time. That is why you have a government which doesn't consist of one minister, but a collection of ministers. And the only other point I make on the peace process is this. There seem to me to be three absolutely overriding requirements for success in the peace process. First, those who take part in it must have a mindset, an attitude of mind that says, we are really determined, we're absolutely determined that this will succeed. We're not just going to make speeches or issue press releases or stage media conferences and strut our stuff or play to the gallery or strike poses. We are determined in starting this process that we're going to see it through to a successful conclusion. Psychologically, I think that's very important. Secondly, I think the participants in the process have got to be ready from day one to talk and to listen until they are exhausted with talking and listening, because talking and listening breed trust, and trust is the precondition of an eventual agreement. And thirdly, this may not be popular, people have got to be prepared to succeed, to compromise. Now, that doesn't mean people must be prepared for other people to compromise. People have got to be prepared to compromise. So they might start with the objective, the very clear-headed and clear-minded and clear-sighted objective of achieving X. But as in all negotiation, in the end, they might not quite get X. They might get X minus 1 or X minus a half. Now, if people taking part in this process from different groups are going to say, well, this is what I want, and unless I get it, I'm going home, I'm walking out, I'm going to take my ball away and play somewhere else, well, then it will fail. But if people say, I'm going to talk, and I'm going to listen, and I'm going to negotiate, and I'm going to reason, and I'm going to be prepared to compromise, because in the end, even if I don't quite get X, X minus 1 or X minus a half is preferable to conflict, to violence, to civil war, that surely is the right mindset. It was Churchill who said, jaw is better than war. So surely that's what we've got to say. A determination to achieve a successful outcome is critical, talking and listening to achieve it, and a readiness to compromise.
That brings us to the end of our evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I think our ambassador, who's being very shy, should say something.
You earlier on made a point about not competing with someone like you who think is much more important and more talented than you are, and I'm going to take that advice and not attempt to compete with you. I think you should have the last word.
Well, just before we wrap up, can I just say thank you for facilitating our proceedings. Thank you at the Anglo School of Political Science for being prepared to have me. And ladies and gentlemen, from whatever walk of life or part of society, profession, occupation, geographical territory in the country you come, thank you for turning up and taking an interest. We're all very flawed, and I'm very flawed, and if I didn't tell you I'm very flawed, all of my colleagues would point out to you my flaws. But I do have quite a lot of passion, and I have a real passion for Parliament, and a passion for human rights, a passion for social justice, and a passion for the idea, which I think is gradually now coming nearer to fruition, that your country should have the precious freedom, justice, and rule of law and prosperity, which we in our country have enjoyed and frankly taken for granted for so long, and which you, for far too long, have been denied. So thank you for having me, thank you for putting up with me, and can I thank you in anticipation of what you're going to do in support of your government, your parliament and your civil society to speed your journey to the sorts of goals that we've shared between us tonight. Thank you very much indeed.
It's been a wonderful evening. Again, thank you all for your presence.